Hi, Miriam. How are you?
I'm happy, thanks, Siddharth, and happy to be with you. I hope you're happy too.
Yeah, of course. It's always good to have another live with someone exciting. And Miriam, I wanted to know from you, how did your musical journey start?
Siddharth, I come from a musical family, but a second-hand musical family. My family were very much involved in Glyndebourne Opera House in Sussex. My grandfather helped build it, and my father became the lighting engineer. So I used to go and watch the rehearsals at the Opera House. And my granny was from country stock. Her family had an inn, and she used to sing folk songs as she was cleaning the house. So
Mhm.
from birth, virtually, I've been involved in music, from folk music to opera. And yes, then, we had choirs and things at school. And I started to learn various musical instruments. I started the recorder at 5, the violin at 8, the guitar at 16, the piano at 16, the guitar at 18.
Wow.
Brian Adams wrote a song for me.
Mhm.
He wrote the song, I got my first real six string in 1969 and played it till my fingers bled. And that's exactly what happened to me.
Oh,
And then from there, I became a folk singer. And as Miriam Backhouse in those days, in 1973, I started touring the English folk clubs and festivals. And I became quite well known. They used to call me the First Lady of Folk, which was very, very nice. And then in 1977, John came overseas and we fell in love, and he went back to South Africa with a wife. Then from there, I was a stay-at-home mum for about 10 years, and then he was retrenched. So we decided to do the music together, and we
mhm.
became Auntie Mim and John, going around the schools. Um, we did everything, because if I didn't sing, we didn't eat. So we literally sang to people from the cradle to the grave. So we were singing and doing puppet shows for little children, right up to going to the senior citizens' homes. And then we'd do cabarets, and I could get all dolled up and pretend I was Tina Turner for a while. And now I'm retired, basically, but I still come overseas to the UK every summer and do enough concerts to pay my airfare here. So I get a busman's
Okay.
holiday.
Wow. All right. I wanted to ask you, who are the musicians you look up to?
Um, it's very difficult, Siddharth, because we're all different. I look up to anybody who's worked very hard at their art, somebody who's practiced to make sure that they can play their instrument properly, can sing properly, and have the the skills to be an entertainer. So it doesn't matter what genre they are. If they
Mhm.
are good at what they do, then I will admire them. But my true heroine was a lady called Kathleen Ferrier. She was one of the opera singers, as I told you, when I was younger, and she had a lovely contralto voice. And I always wanted to have that control of the voice that she had. So I've spent a lot of time training my breathing and my vowel sounds to make sure that my voice is at its best for my audience. And that really is what I look up to, people who are aware that what they have to offer must be of the best, even if there's only one person in the audience.
All right. I have a question for you from the comment section. Are you okay if I ask you?
Yes, certainly.
All right. This
I will.
is from this is from Resh Jitan. Thank you, Miriam, for entertaining us. My question is, how would you compare the genre of music from yesteryears to date, and which do you prefer?
Um, You know that it's difficult because in my time, when we were listening to the Beatles, my parents thought it was awful. So
Mhm.
the genre of music today, I find a little bit repetitious. I find I'm a folk singer at heart, so I like a song that has a story and more than two lines of lyrics. But I'm finding now that with the modern ones, and I have listened to quite a few modern ones, the storyline is coming back. But for quite a long time, we just had the "Babe, I love you" or "I miss you," and that but I would not class as music. It's pop music and it's relevant, But for my heart, which is classical and folk music that has a story, no. So if that answers your question, yes. But folk music remains the same. If you go to a folk club anywhere and you listen to the people who are writing folk songs and stories and comments on what the politics and the stories of today are, you will find some excellent songwriters. Mm.
Right. What have been your highlights thus far?
Oh, my highlights. You know, Siddharth, the reason I got into entertaining was because I like people to respond. So if I go to sing in a folk club and people respond to me, and I write quite a few songs and I sing quite a few songs that have choruses. So if people start singing the chorus with me and we get that sort of vibe going in the audience and people give to me back what I'm giving, then the music becomes a part of the atmosphere. And that is my highlight every day. But I don't know if you heard of the Edinburgh Festival in Scotland.
No.
No. Anyway, the Edinburgh Festival is one of the biggest festivals in the world for the arts. And I've been there twice. I went there in 1976. And then I was invited to go back again in 2019. So to be part of that big festival at the beginning and end of my career, I think that's probably the highlight, yes.
All right. Any lowlights, if any?
I think I can relate to everybody who runs their own business, because I did run my own business. As I said, if I didn't sing, we didn't eat. And the lowlights are the rejection. When you apply to do a job or when you send out a lot of emails, and I know a lot of people are going through this these days, and in the music world, it's no different. When you get rejection after rejection and you think, oh, must I? And then somebody says, yes, come and sing for us, and all that disappears. So those are really the lowlights, I think, and everybody can relate to them. Oh, and one time I can tell you, which is quite funny. I was sitting at home and the phone rang, and I said, hello. And this voice says, where are you? And I said, well, I'm at home. She said, why aren't you here? I've got a whole room full of old people with tea and biscuits waiting for you to come and entertain them. And I said, but you didn't ask me. And she said, oh my goodness. She said, you're right. I didn't. So maybe that's a low light with a room full of people waiting for somebody that wasn't invited. So, yeah.
All right. What are the plans for the rest of this year and beyond?
The rest of this year, I've got one more concert while I'm in England, and then I'm coming home to South Africa in October. I haven't really got anything planned, but quite a few people have said to me, Mim, can you come and sing for us in South Africa? Which will be lovely, whether it's singing for, somebody local or going to, I've been invited to Cape Town, Johannesburg, Port Elizabeth. So I'm really looking forward to those. And then when I come back here next year, I've got some bookings planned for next year in Scotland and England, and then 2027 in Scotland and England, and 2028, which will be my 80th birthday, I've been invited to go and sing in Holland. So future plans, even if it's only one concert a year, Siddhartha, that is, sorry, Siddhartha, my son is Siddhartha.
Oh, cool.
That's wonderful. And it keeps me going, and it keeps me thinking, well, as long as a few people want to hear me sing, then my heart is happy. Yeah.
Of course. What are your words of inspiration for upcoming musicians?
Do practice, practice, practice. If you're going to want to be a musician, make sure that please you can play your instrument. I have a funny story about that. We were asked to do a judge talent competition at Hillcrest High School when the kids were still there. So I'm talking the late 90s. And there was this young kid with a guitar, and he had lots of pedals. Distortion was coming in. And I said to him, would you like me to tune your guitar? And he said, what? So my advice to anybody who wanted to be taken seriously make sure your guitar's in tune or your instrument of choice, and make sure you practice. Even if you only ever learn 1 or 2 songs, make sure that you practice and you know your stuff. And for singers, please take a little bit of singing, learn how to breathe properly. I mean, I'm still singing at 77. And that's because I keep up my breathing technique. And as I say, I do my breathing exercises and vocal exercises most days, and keep it up. Because if you do it when you're young and you learn your stuff, you will have a lifetime of amazing music. So yeah, that's my advice. Practice, practice, practice. Rejection isn't always about you. Sometimes you might not have the right face. I mean, I have auditioned for parts that required a very short lady, and I'm 5'9". So they said, no, thank you, you're not right for the part. And of course, you're devastated at that stage. But don't be devastated. If you're true to yourself and your passion is music, and you don't necessarily have to learn a living at it. Just go to the open mic sessions, or go to the local old folks home and make them happy, or sing for children. Whatever you want to do, make sure that you're absolutely loving every minute. And if you love it, the people who are listening to you will love it too.
All I gotta say, thanks so much for your time, and hopefully the first of many.
Thank you, Siddharth. That would be lovely. And maybe when I come back to Africa, we can meet in person. That would be nice.
Sure. All right. Take care.
You too. Bye now.